Good morning, and a third good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to Barbados. I actually didn't even want to speak this morning because the peace and quiet down here is just so beautiful. Yes, I do have on my attire today, and just in case it's some mosquitoes, I didn't get any yesterday, but I'm just going to take it cautious today and prepare. And that's always how we're supposed to be in life. Prepare for everything that we do to the best of our ability, and then hand it all over to God and He will take care of the rest. Good morning to you. We are at Coco Hill Forest. Beautiful, beautiful location. I spent about 4.5 hours here yesterday going all through here again, signal strengths. Never really found anything of consistency where I could say we're not going to have any kind of video pixeling and stuff. There will be happening, I'm sure. However, I need to bring this location to you and let you experience the peace and quiet. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and that is, of course I'm going to be blabbering. I can't keep my mouth shut at all, but I'm going to try and keep quiet as much as possible for you all to enjoy what we're actually going to be experiencing this morning. But before we start, I'd like to say our serenity prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. What a beautiful, beautiful morning. I will tell you, folks, I love up here. Every time I've been here, I've been overwhelmed with this power of, I don't know, it's just a spirituality that I feel down here, and just a power of the nature and everything around me. I'm feeling it very consistently here every time. So this is somewhere that I would definitely advocate, if you are able to walk or hike, that you come to this area. It is certainly not a walk-in, as in a person who has any kind of challenges, with strength and stuff to walk. If you need a cane and thing, or if your knees are weak, I would not recommend going into the actual area itself. You can stop at the entrance. There are a couple of benches close by, or you can sit and talk to Mound, who will be happy to tell you of what his dreams and passions are. And he's a really entertaining guy with lots and lots of knowledge on nature and stuff. Extremely spiritual and very in contact with nature for sure. So the experience with him will be out of this world. All right, we're going to start our journey. We are just below an area called the Shaolin Temple. What we will be doing today, before I actually start though, all of what you're seeing in front of us here that looks as though it's impossible to get through, there is a path that they've recently done in this section, a route they have recently cut. I did it before when it was just about quarter way through, but they've actually completed it now, and you could take this route. There are many ways into what they call the forest. One is just below us. There's a very narrow ridge that goes across here where they've done some terracing, as you can probably see it there, just like in the center of the camera. Very narrow. It's maybe about 3 feet wide, and you work your way around the perimeter of the actual forest itself and gradually work your way down into the forest. It is a beautiful, beautiful walk. I did it yesterday. I actually came down in here, didn't go that way because said, well, it hadn't been finished. And then when I got back, Mood told me, yes, it's finished. So I had to come back up here again. All right, so this entire forest that we're seeing, there are varying tracks all through it. And they're all being cut and semi-cut with steps and stuff. Well, Mud, I will show you what that's like in a minute. But if you want to hike in Barbados without actually getting bashed in your face with different types of bush and stuff and going through high tall grass, this is the place to come for sure. This is definitely the place to come. If you have a friend or family that can't handle the challenging experience, please drop them at Flower Forest, which is just a couple of yards away from here, a few hundred yards away from here. Let them go through that section out there, or just sit on their terrace until you're finished, because you definitely need to experience this if you do have the capabilities of handling this kind of hiking. All right, so as I said before, we're just below Shaolin Temple. I'll show you why it's called Shaolin Temple in a minute. We're going to make our way up to that. We're going to take our time because I don't know if it makes any difference to the quality of the video, but I'm not going to be zizzing around and flashing the video all over the place, or the camera all over the place this morning, because I'm trying to maintain a consistency level wherever possible, with the video content and quality. So here we go. I'm going to keep quiet now. I'm going to walk you into Shaolin Temple because this walk needs to be done quietly. When I get in there, I'm going to give you a 360, slightly higher elevation of a 360, and hopefully winds will be blowing strong enough so you can experience the sounds and stuff that I experienced yesterday. So here we go. I'm not sure if you can sense the peace and the serenity and the absolute power of nature down here on this vlog, but I will tell you, it is just unbelievable. It is so powerful. It is moving, actually. All right, we're going to start descending our way. Our intention to skirt the forest, and that's because of signal strength. They don't want to go down inside. There are a couple of pockets in there that the signal is quite good, but we really can't do a walk per se because it starts to drop out quite consistently throughout the entire way. So I just want to show you the tops. We look down into the forest areas. We're going to have some lovely views today of all kind of nature at its absolute best here in Barbados. This is the forest. Now you can actually walk through many tracks down in there. It's just beautiful. You really, really need to experience this here. There are royal palms down in here that will just floor you with their beauty. Absolutely stunning. The coverage of all up here, beautiful ferns everywhere. We'll also point out some tree ferns as well that Mood pointed out yesterday to me that he hasn't really seen in too many places in the island. He is a avid hiker. He knows this island very, very well, especially the interior parts, like this type of terrain and stuff, which he's done lots and lots of exploring over the years. I'm going to do a little descent down here in quietness, so it's not that I don't have anything to say, because you know I don't run out of things to say, but I really want you to appreciate the sounds of up here. Here we go. Okay, this is the area we're going to come into tree ferns now, so I need just to point them out to you how many tree ferns are out here. Just beautiful. All over here, the tree ferns. Just magnificent, magnificent nature at its best. This is most definitely a God's gift for us people, so if you get the opportunity, please come and have a look at this. Incredible. Now, when you're working through here, you will see some palms like these here that are Macaw Palms. So be careful when you're down in here. Please take one of the staffs that are offered to you when you enter the facility or the attraction. Because it definitely helps without a doubt. I didn't do it with the staff yesterday, but I will tell you I'm a little sore in the knees and stuff. But you don't want to be grabbing on anything out here unless you're sure. Have a good look at it first, and then hold on to it if you need to support. But don't just grab on to anything that's next to you, because you may grab on to a macaw palm, and I'm going to show you why you do not want to hold that in a few minutes time. What I'll also show you is the amount of areas for drainage and things that have been sort of like enhanced and helped out by Mood and them. They did a lot of work out here. I'll show you that a little further on, but I want to mention you'll see quite a few of these washaways. Before I go any further, I would like to say that I came in here one day, the first time I ever came here. When I got here, there was torrential rain. I mean, downpour. Just like went from like what we're at now to serious downpour. And I was able to actually see it transform with canopies of water coming off the upper foliage that look just like waterfalls. And then streams start to wake up, and then little rivers start to build. And just absolutely beautiful. The drops coming off of the leaves and hearing the sounds of the rain hitting the leaves was heavenly. So again, if you're not too challenged and you're able to do some serious walking and stuff, if it's raining, it's also an adventure up here, but you will be slipping and sliding, so you make sure and have your correct gear, please. But that is an experience that I will definitely be coming back to witness myself again. It was heavenly. I spent an hour in torrential rains just enjoying everything that started to happen when they fell. What you're witnessing down here is forest as it is. Yes, there's a track cut through it, but this is what you will find in majority places like Turner's Hall Woods and Hillaby and stuff, this same type of terrain. You would have noticed a couple of vehicle sounds, and that is because this is a 53-acre resort. I would call it a resort or reserve, sorry. And it is right close to some of the roads that come up through from St. Andrew up in, well, St. Joseph up into the higher hill elevation. So a lot of buses and stuff run these routes. You don't hear them too often, but you would have heard a horn or two before, and that's because there are some roads just to our east of where we're located. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know my hycologist must be on board dribbling now, because I know this is where he would like to explore. So Ryan, good morning to you, brother. We're going to be coming back down here, you and me, as soon as we can. Rich should be very soon, by the way. I was here yesterday and they had quite a few locals that impressed me. You know, like little groups of like 2s and 3s and 4s that impressed me coming through here and walking through, all of them with their staffs, having a fun time. Some of them actually thinking they got lost and, you know, a little concerned and stuff, but you are given maps. You can't really get lost in here. You might have to go backtracking a couple of times because there are new routes being cut into the denser areas, and you may have to turn around because they're not being completed. But they won't be on your map, but you will see them, and curiosity will more likely capture you, and you will want to experience what they're like. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. All right, a little more silence. Let's walk and enjoy nature. Please remember that we are in an area that's prone to slippage. So don't veer off of the tracks too far. If you do, just be very, very aware of where you're going. Just make sure and check where you're about to put your foot before you do so. It's not a place to run off the track and explore. It's a place to walk off the track and explore. So anytime you're leaving the official routing, if you're just going to take a picture of something, please take all caution that you possibly can, because it is an area that's prone to slippage. So you will have little sections that could probably slip away with you closer to the cliff itself. Remember, Barbados suffered 3 natural, I won't say disasters, but close to disasters. The first one was the ash fall in the last week of April. That was the volcanic ash from St. Vincent. The second was a freak storm that was in the last week of June. And then we had a Hurricane Elsa that passed through here in the first week of July. I think it was on the 3rd of July or something, if I remember the dates correctly. And up here has definitely taken some licks. He was telling me that a lot of the tops of the trees were lost in the freak storm, which was very, very strange, because it was a very unexpected, and we were not prepared for it at all, and lots of trees were lost. And then we had a lot of uprooting that came with Elsa just after that. So you will see now that the ash also weakened a lot of the plants as well, the denseness of the ash and stuff, and water couldn't get to them. So you will find a lot of trees down here. Well, a few trees, not a lot, a few that have been uprooted, and that's just one of them there. Just want to point it out as we're passing. So we had 3 natural disasters, I guess you could call them, and we've survived them. And this is how beautiful the island is looking again. All of the surface that I'm walking on right now is mud. So when it is raining, you're going to be definitely having a few challenges, especially if it's soaking wet. But just come prepared. You know, if you're a hiker, that's the kind of thrill you enjoy. I know I do for sure. I wouldn't say I like to do it when I'm filming, but I most definitely like to enjoy it. But just have a look down into this forest and check how beautiful down in there is. Okay, now this is one of the Macaw Palms. I don't know if you can actually see the prickles on the leaves itself. You'll see all the prickles. I'm not sure if it's focusing very well on it. I'll try and find one a little better light for you, but all here is full of them. You can see them right up the stalks itself and all over the tops of the leaves. So you don't want to be just grabbing on anything, as I had mentioned, as you're walking through here and you're looking for some kind of support. Just don't grab, have a look around. It's better sometimes to slip than it would be to grab on one of these, I can tell you for sure. All right, again, we got some different birds and stuff. I'm going to keep quiet for you again. Enjoy your little bit of breeze and your little bit of peace. What is of interest as well is Muda told me that when he started to explore this forest looking for paths and stuff, he's come across a lot of things that would have to have been planted before and farmed. Like he's found turmeric in here, he's found ginger in here, he's also found yam in here as well. And therefore it would tell you that in the older days, in times gone by, all this was being farmed by people that lived in the general area. And that is a very serious interest, because it looks like a forest that's never been developed. But he said that he's found traces of where there was farming in this forest. Now the descent, one of the descents into the forest, I would recommend doing a clockwise direction if you're going to be going into the forest and coming back up to the Shaolin Temple, rather than reverse it, because the steepest section is on the coming back up to Shaolin, and it's very difficult to get down it. Slippage, and also the descent is pretty rough. But if you're coming into the forest, which is definitely recommended, this place could be done easily in 2 days and not one. You could spend enough time here and just relax, or you could do it in one, but don't just come for an hour. I think you're going to cover this location, because this location warrants some serious walking, relaxing, standing up and breathing in the peace and absorbing what God has put here for us, because I can tell you, I feel him all over here, everywhere. Now this area is the first descent you will come to. It's called Chalk Steps, and this actually goes into the forest itself. We're not going to go down in there, because we will most definitely lose signal as we start to descend. It will come back, but we're not going to take that risk this morning. As I had mentioned, he and his team have cut steps all along in the mud and stuff to make it a little bit easier for you. However, as I said, it will be slippery when wet. But what they've also done that I love is utilize the root structure as he steps a lot of places in this forest. So wherever roots have run across, they've actually modified them into the stepping area, so that you will have it easier and more secure stepping going through. But a lot of investment has been put in here. You might look at it and say, oh, it's just a forest. But I'll show you in a little while the kind of things I'm talking about that would have been very costly. But here again, you can see the roots are used sort of as a step-in area to go up, which is beautiful. We're going up to an area called the Mound. You'll notice the green arrows pointing in the opposite direction. That's because I'm actually reversing the route today. But it's an area you can just sit and relax and just feel the peace of the morning. Look at the lovely sun coming up over the ridge here. It's just beautiful. For those that asked before, we're in Coco Hill Forest. Now, there are many different routes, as I said. Lots of different ways up and around in here. So, if you really have the time, I recommend you explore, because no matter where you go, it's different. Now here again, you will see how the steps are being utilized. What they've done is they've put wood with reinforced steel hammered on the other side, and then helped to level out and fill with some gravel. So you'll find this around the areas. You also find some handrails and stuff as well. But don't come down here, to prop on these things and really use them. Steady yourself, but not really to prop on them, because you're not going to find these all over. And you will get to areas that you won't have that assistance. So prepare yourself not to having to hold on to. Use your staffs. Just take your time. Today is going to be very different to our normal ones. I'm not me talking as much, but you know me, I got to go with my piece of talk here and there, so forgive me for interrupting your piece, but something that's necessary for me. I love the kind of root designs and stuff you're also seeing down here. You know, it is as a forest would be. You know, it is, I love, just love this place. If you did not hear that already, I'll tell you again. I just love this place. I adore it. Now there's some vantage areas that you can just make your way from your car up and have a seat if you don't want to do all of this hiking and stuff. If you want to bring your picnic basket and thing. He has a deck as well, I'll show you that later. Numerous decks actually, and lots of benches and stuff that you can sit and relax and enjoy the peace if you would like. This is just one of those areas here. And this here, to get to this, yes, you have a little bit of climbing. No, let me rephrase that, not climbing. It's steep and it's definitely a little bit challenging if you're unsure or unsteady. So just be careful, you know, but as I said before, if you can do a little bit of walking, you can sit here and just listen to nature all around you. It's just beautiful, no matter what time of day, because I've been here 3 different times of day. I've been here early in the morning before daybreak, which you may remember that one, and this morning, of course. I've been here around 10 o'clock. I started yesterday, didn't leave here till 2:45, and I've been here in the afternoon time, which went right up closer to more like 4:30. And each time I've come here, it's been nothing but peace and quiet. As I said, I'm just skirting the forest, the ridge of the forest. I'm gonna, like, this is probably as deep as we will get, maybe a little deeper, but we're not going down in the actual forest itself because we will unfortunately not have the signal. But it's beautiful down in here, absolutely beautiful. Take your time when you're here, okay, don't come down here and play running through these hills and stuff, because you could definitely have some challenges, so just take your time as you're going down here. And remember, you're dabbling with nature, so although these steps may have the wood, may have the metal across and reinforced metal to help them hold in place, you're dealing with nature, so if you get a lot of water and stuff, those metal rods may be a little looser, so just take your time. Don't step on the edge of anything. Step back in the step itself. Make it safe. Just be wary. As you can appreciate, it's been like 2 years since they really had a lot of people here. So there's a lot of work to go on, like with signage and stuff to be redone. All that is getting done day by day. And you will see a lot of branches and stuff to the side. Now, he told me yesterday they use what they call a chop and drop, which is any branches that hang over the pathways and stuff, they will actually chop them and put them to the side, and that will form like a mulch, you know, and just will be better for any plants and stuff in the area, so they don't lose anything. Many different routes, as I mentioned. This one is called 101 steps. This goes right down into the forest as well. Just beautiful. But we're going to skirt, as I said, across the top. More bamboo. So listen to some of the creaks in and the sounds, because I'm hearing them better here than I was just now. Here we go. This is the type of chop and drop that I was mentioning to you about just now. Anything that's breaks up or needs to be cut down, they just drop it on the side. It's a compost, so it's great for any planting in the future, of which they're already planning to push up here a lot, and that's planting lots of different provisions and stuff, and utilizing the area with different terraces and different root structures to try and hold the soil from slippage. And you see, that's where I'm parked, very close to here is just about the entrance itself, so you'd have to walk up a little bit to get to the first set of benches, as I had mentioned, but we're going again. We haven't come to an end, don't worry. We got a good walk still to go. And a little more explanation and information. This savanna grass here, you know, believe it or not, I had savanna grass at my previous home. Still have some at at my palace as well now. But this is all just nature that's grown this here. No one planted anything here. It just started to grow and grow and grow and expand itself into the forest. And he was telling me yesterday that no one had put this here. This is just growing in the wild. And this, as you all may know, if you have savanna grass, that is a grass you have to keep watering and keep it well wet. If not, it dries up very quickly. So you would understand that out here keeps a fairly good rainfall average. I'm sure of that. Maybe not as high as normal, but most of the time. Now we have a lot of coconuts and stuff which are being hatched and grown along this area. As I said, he is actually turning this forest, or planting a lot of trees in this forest, especially a lot of edible stuff that produces edibles as well. So it's something that he's working on. But what he does not want to do, he said, is he doesn't want a consistency, because he wants to keep it looking like a forest. He doesn't want to turn it into a garden per se. He's looking just to turn it into a forest and keep and maintain the sporadic planting of trees and stuff. So you won't see a consistent line of trees or anything like that. They will be doing some of that in the future. Now, this is a method called terracing. I don't know if you can see it very clearly here. To stop the land slippage, what they do is they actually terrace. Now, this is all done by hand, and this has taken 7 years, etc. To do. They start a couple of inches away from where, let's take, for example, from here where this edge is. They will start to take back a couple of inches, obviously elevate it a little bit, take back a couple of inches, and each time they come down here, take it further back, which will form a terrace. And then on the terrace, then they're going to plant tumbrook, which you're seeing here, banana and coconut. That's what the main things we plant in this area. There are other ones as well, but that's what they will do, and that will also help to hold the soil again as well. But the terracing actually slows down the water flow, so you don't tend to get as much of a slippage. However, what you don't want either is, as he mentioned, is you don't want to get too much water accumulating in these terraces. If not, it just forms a big wet area that will slide as well. So it's a trial and error, but it's something that they seem to be perfecting, because I haven't seen any slippage in this immediate area, but I'll show you a little bit what kind of slippage can happen down here. More terracing as well, so it's the whole way down. I mean, the kind of work, manpower that goes into this here is unbelievable. All of these paths are also cut by hand as well too. All these steps are created by hand. There's only one road section that comes in. It is an auxiliary road that comes in that you will find further on, and that is that I'll show you that in a few minutes time. But just to show you what goes on over here, it's just beautiful. No mosquitoes whatsoever. Haven't had a bite. Yes, I had a couple of scratches and itches, but they weren't mosquitoes. They were actually some ants that they went in there and they got me a couple of places and gave me a few little bites. But that's what happens when you're not too observant and you drop your guard of where you're going. As I said, there are many different paths that go off left, right, all over the place. But the one we're going to take is the one that descends to what I call their hangout spot. I don't know what the official name is for it, but this is the place I would come and hang out. If I were down in here, for sure, I'd bring my picnic basket and I would chill out here for the entire day. But I know they also have like an observation deck, which you'll see in a few minutes time. It's beautiful. Now, I have seen a barbecue down here in the past, so I don't know if that's something that he arranges for groups separately, or if he does it himself separately on occasions when there are more people coming in the forest. But you can appreciate it doesn't make sense to fire up a barbecue now. You can't have any numbers, things up to 5 people at the most in the group. But beautiful, beautiful observation deck. And let you have a listen to the winds for a few seconds and enjoy the peace that I'm experiencing down here. It's just gorgeous. So as you can see, you can come down here and spend the entire day if that's what you want to do. There's no rush to leave down here. Down here is just amazing. I know there are some people that come here and take forest baths and stuff. I know that for sure. And there are other people that come here and spend the entire day, and then there are those that come here and just whisk through here in an hour or so. But if you experience what I'm feeling down here, you will not want to leave down here in a hurry, and that's for sure. This is the other observation deck below. And we're beginning to get a glimpse of the east coast now and the valleys that surround this area itself. Beautiful. And just so you know, the new route that I mentioned that goes all through the other side of that hill that you're seeing there. So you will be descending from the Shaolin Temple down into that new walkway that goes all through that forest area on the opposite side of this big ravine. Just beautiful. And if that is something you want to do, like sit in nature, that's where we were just now. Stunning. Alright, you see, this is a typical small example of the kind of slippage that happens down here. And you will see also he has pineapples planted as well all over the place. So there are lots of pineapples as well used along with the turmeric and stuff that we've seen before. It's a beautiful place. See someone saying I want to bake a cake. I know who that would have to be. Right down here is a little bit muddy, a little bit damp, so we're just going to take our time going down this path. You can see that it's wet before you get to it, because you can see the discoloration of the mud and the upper grass and stuff. So you sort of like know you're going to walk into water before you do. Just beautiful down in here. Another plant that I use as well is called a wild tamarind. I don't see it here right now, but he did explain that to me yesterday. I didn't even know it's called a wild tamarind. I thought it was some form of miniature shack, but it is actually called a wild tamarind. It says that root structure is excellent for holding soil in place as well. I've been in here since I got here at 5:30 this morning. I came into the forest, I would say about 5:45. I was setting up some camera equipment, having a few challenges with the second one. I wanted to do an audio sound for you. Had a few problems with that there, so I just left that behind and decided to come into the forest. So I've been in here from 5:45 when it was relatively dark, and I felt nothing but peace and safety, which is something that, you know, a lot of people have been concerned about venturing into areas like this here, safety elements. I have had no problems in here any time I've been through. He has had no problems in here, and I will tell you, I felt as safe and as protected and as spiritual as I felt anywhere in this island. There's a power in here that you need to come and experience for yourself. It is just amazing. We did mention about the service road. This is the service road here that brings in some stuff from the roadside itself, the heavier things. But this is the only section that would not have been cut by hand. All the rest of it, everything you're seeing, all the terraces, all the steps, all the levels are all done by hand. Alright, I'm going to take you to a lookout here. We have two lookouts I want to take you to. This is the first one because I want to show you the real examples of the slippage and stuff that's done in this area. Yes, I am going to be careful. I am going to be holding on, so don't worry. But check this drop off here. It is something else. And you can see all of these sides of this cliff here. There's slippage. So this is what he is trying to struggle and conquer. Now over on the other side, you will also see some areas that's just bare soil where everything has just slipped away. Don't know when that would have happened, but that would be fairly recent. There's only a little bit of grass growing on it, and the rest of it is just bare face. You'll find that all over this section of the island. But over here in these hills, very, very easy to see and recognize. In the distance, you can see the grove of royal palms. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, directly below us is what they call the mud river as well. Call it mud river because the water comes down here and it slips, and all the mud washes with it. So that's just a little further on. Just lovely terrain. Absolutely beautiful terrain. So if you're looking to hike in the nature of Barbados, as I said, you don't want to be walking about in grass, it's cutting you up and stuff, and you know, the unpleasantries that go with that type of hiking, this is the place to come for sure. Definitely. And if you want to get cut up and stuff, there's plenty of routes here you can take as well too. These are the ones that have been laid out for the general public to use. The hiking trails that he has found to be the best ones. However, as I said before, there are many, many other ones that you can go on if you want to take a little more adventurous stuff. He's also has some plans. I'm not going to say what they are, but he has some plans for something that's thrilling coming up next year. I'm not going to mention it. I'll let him do that in his own advertisements. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But he has some plans to add something here that's going to turn this place into another level one more time, for sure. But beautiful. And that's where we were just now, the observation deck. And he had just to show you what it looks like from a little distance and stuff. Look how beautiful it just sits right in there. You hardly even see it really. You have to look to see it. And that's what I like about everything in this place. It doesn't look like anything, man-made really. Of course you see that, it's man-made, but it just looks natural. It just looks as though it's supposed to be there. And that is what I enjoy seeing in nature like this here. Alright folks, we're going to have our first view of the Atlantic Ocean today. And this place here has had a lot of slippage recently because the original path was quite easy to get around here. Last time I was here, it was a little bit easier still. Now I walked from that side yesterday here, but you have to descend down and come across that banking. As you can see, it's really, really narrow. So you just be very, very careful if you are coming here. Remember, look for a tree. Make sure it's solid. Make sure it doesn't have arm prickles. And hold on it if you're in doubt. Don't play your coming over here as though you're a boss, acrobatic person like me and scale and backflip over these ravines. You take your time, okay? It took me years and years of training. Just beautiful. All right, here we go. Our first view of the Atlantic Ocean for the day. Well, our only view for the Atlantic Ocean for the day, because we won't be going on the other track, which offers it from the other side of these hills as well. But can you imagine waking up in those hills this morning? As you can see, there are lots of homes all around there. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this is the area that's called Mud River. Last time I was up here, it was all bare. There was no grass at all on it, but it's now green in the grass, and as you can see, a lot of different plants and stuff, which will probably help to hold it as well. But you can see it does suffer with slippage, as you can see the upper section here. Just beautiful, beautiful location. So I know we said our serenity prayer before, but I honestly think that this place here is perfect for saying our serenity prayer again. For those that came on later this morning, please join us in this if you would like. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. I think this is just a perfect spot for us to do that this morning. It is just beautiful. This is called the Atlantic View. If you're looking at their maps and you're here having a look at it, and what we're doing is you're looking straight down into the Belle Plaine area. As you can see in St. Andrew, it is just beautiful. We always talk about that. The cellar tower, you will see it just slightly over there, say 3/4 way over an upper column of the video. You will see it looking as though it's all landscaped in like a big tree, and that's what I love about it. So that will indicate to you where that is. That's the top area by Saddleback out by Bizzix. And give you another bearing of where we are. Just beautiful scenery, just lovely, heavenly. The experience down in here is something that I would really strongly recommend if you have the possibility of doing so. Remember, we have all types of botanical gardens here. We have more, I would say, lighter hiking areas. There's the Flower Forest, there's Welshton Hall, there's Hunt's Gardens, there's Andromeda Gardens. I don't leave out any of them, but I may have. But if I did, I'm sorry, I just can't call all today. But all different levels of activities and all different types of foliage and paths and stuff. So you don't have to only do this, but I would recommend, as long as you're physically able to do a hike, I would strongly recommend you come down in here and you spend at least 3 or 4 hours just sit on all the benches and absorb the beauty, because you will feel it down in here. There's no question about it. There's a very strong presence of God for me in this forest for sure, as it is most places that I go, but down here is definitely noticeable. All right, just to tell you, I have, this area is, as I brought you to today, there is a risk of this video not being that clear, but I will most definitely be returning here, doing a 4K resolution video of all of the paths and stuff, and put them into one big long one so you can see exactly what it's like, so you can experience it as almost as if you were here. You wouldn't experience the feeling unless you can really lock your senses in. And some of you have been able to do that, because some of you tell me that. Many, many places out here to walk. You know, there's no way that you can come to this place and think it's overcrowded. It's just not going to happen. It's vast. It is 53 acres of developed hiking routes. Just beautiful. This is the most, I would say, the widest one, and probably the best surface, and that's because this, as I said before, is the auxiliary road that brings in the stuff that they then walk by hand or by foot out of here to different locations. Now, what also goes in here as well, besides just the planting of trees and different types of growths to protect the slippage, is a lot of drainage area, because if they don't get the water from some of these terraces, the terraces will move. So you will not see these types of pipes too often, but they are around the place because they need to get the water from one point to another, so it doesn't actually pull the entire terrace with it. So you'll find a lot of drainage being done out here. Most of this, Mood has told me that he has just done or gained through trial and error, because it's really, this type of growing and agriculture and forestry is not too often found that you can read it. You know, it's something that he has learned through experiencing it, and therefore, you know, I take my hat off to him. This is an amazing product that he has here, not only for us, but for our future generations, because this will not spoil. This will not need painting. All this needs is a little trimming back, chopping and dropping. That's all this needs. And that is what will take care of this forestry area for sure. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it will get more beautiful as time goes on. Just sum up a little more, a little more walk, not too much further. There is a section down here that has a grove of royal palms. We're not going to go down to it because it's very steep. And tell you the truth, we're sort of like timing out here now on this one. But I just want to bring you in this general direction to show you that it just goes on and on and on. So remember, those of you that have challenges here, and you have partners or friends that are with you that don't, go and have a seat in Flora Forest, please, and let them come here and roam for a little bit. Let them come back and share their memories with you, and let them have the experiences that I honestly think everyone needs to have. So this carries us back up the road and to the entrance. What I will do is I will take you up here and show you the general outlay as long as the video permits us and the signal is strong enough. And this will show you what what to experience when you come here. This road goes down into Flora Forest, and it also is shared by the same Coco Hill Forest as well. So here we go. So you can see the road is a lot better than it used to be. They had to do a lot of gabling and stuff up here because this road was all slipped away at one time. However, the creative planting, the gables and then the creative planting out here, the entire area that was so badly slipped is not even noticeable anymore if you didn't know about it before. It's beautiful. You see there are a lot of little laybys as well. Road looks narrow. It is a two-way road, as you can appreciate, but there are lots of little laybys. So if you're coming down here, you might have to reverse a little bit if there's something coming the other way. Remember, the layby may not be on their side, it may be on yours. So just have a little courtesy, and you will get down here, because the wait and the drive is more than worth it. This will just show you how close the road is to the forest where we were. You know, it's not a thoroughfare road. There are some to the east of here, or south of east of here. You will hear some vehicular traffic on it, but you won't hear anything down here really, especially when you get down the forest, because it's down in the ravine itself, and therefore the cliffs, sort of like insulate the sound barrier. So it's beautiful. If you all want to hear me huff and puff, you can hear it this morning for sure. But as you can see, it's nature, left and right. The right hand side is not developed in this section. However, the left has been done for you to enjoy the beauty of this area. It is just beautiful. I am not too sure of the opening times. I know that he usually is here from 10, but I'm not sure the days and stuff. So what I would recommend is, if you are coming down, just give him a call. Go online. He's always online as well. Drop an IM message, you know, some way just to check and see the times. You know, he doesn't do reservations because he doesn't really want to block time, and then people not turn up. So it's sort of like a come, sit, let a few people go on first, and then you can go on if it's that busy. Ferns everywhere, just beautiful. Pretty soon you won't see his gable. This will have ferns all over it. It'll be just beautiful. And you're gonna need an oxygen mask. Jeez, top boat unfit. Gee. And you know, I've done a lot of truncheon between yesterday and today. Last time I went home, my legs felt like rubber. Remember, if you can't do the walk through here, come and experience the conversation. Come and listen to a man that is as passionate and as in sync with nature as anyone I know. Just come and experience that. That alone is an experience for you for sure. All the warnings about the handrails we've talked about before, not feeding animals. You will notice we haven't seen any monkeys though. I mentioned that to him yesterday, that daybreak we don't see monkeys really in this island at all, very rarely. And you know, that was sort of like a surprise for him. But he'll see the video this morning, you'll see what I was talking about. You don't see them this early, not in general. And there's the facility. I am risking a signal strength here, but I really want to show you this. This is where you will come, just as you would expect it, of a place that is eco-friendly and also is based on nature, just beautiful. Everything just fits into the foliage and landscape area, just lovely. These are the type of staffs that you'll be offered. I was watching yesterday when he came up here, all sanitized in the morning. You make sure that everything follows the protocols, etc. And this is the area where you will find him. And this is a brand new extension. This is their decking area. If you want to come up here, bring up something to eat and drink, you can do so as well. You can see it's just beautiful. And I'll let you listen to the sounds that you would experience right here. You don't even have to go in the forest. You've seen, you can get out of your car, big butterfly moths all over the place. And this is what you'll experience up here. As you can see, even if you don't want to go anywhere else, you want to stay with your family, you can come and sit here, you know, bring a book maybe, just sit here and let your family go and stroll and come back to you, because this place here needs to be taken in. I'm telling you, this is one of the locations that I will strongly advise anyone that can come to Barbados and enjoy to come and enjoy. There is a peace, a power of peace and a power of nature and spirituality that is so obvious in here and so easy to touch. It is just amazing. And you're going to take you just a little bit into the forest area here. Just slightly, hopefully you won't lose the signal, because I would like to say goodbye to you, you know, surrounded by nature itself. Although up in here is beautiful and peaceful, I would still rather do it down in nature itself. You can see the paths going everywhere. We have not done these this morning. This is another set here that go off out into the forest area. We're going to take a little bit of a walk here, and then we're going to say our goodbyes in a second as we pass over this little bridged area. And just so you'll see, there's a cocoa tree up here as well. Alright folks, I know you haven't had any silent 360s, so we're going to do one right here for you. Just go in this corner here. You can get away a little bit from the trees and stuff. And this is Coco Hill Forest. I hope you've enjoyed our day with us. I'm going to carry you through in 360 now. Here we go. So once again, family, we have come to one of the most peaceful places in Barbados. We have come together as a family. We have shared love. We've shared care. We've shared hope. We've shared just our thoughts, our memories, our kindness. That is what we do. That is what the EMC does. That is why we're growing and growing and growing. We passed our 450 active members over the weekend. Not sure why it will get, but I know that this is a growing family. And that's because people need somewhere to find peace and love and happiness and hope. Because right now there are so many things that are going on that are the opposite of that. And there's so many people that unfortunately are giving up. And there are people that just don't know where to turn. We actually know where we can start in the morning. We can come here. We can get ourselves filled with peace and love and happiness. We can put on our armor and we can go ahead into the day and meet whatever challenges we have head on. And we always know that if we are challenged to the point of where we feel as though we're breaking, we walk away, we breathe. And if we have access, we go back onto the morning vlog, have a little look again, and get transformed back to peace all over again and start again fresh. Don't let anyone steal your joy today. Don't let anyone waste your day. Don't let the memories or the bad thoughts or the judgments or the negativity spoil a second of your day. We don't know how long we're on this earth for. We all know we're going to a much better place, but we need to enjoy ourselves while we're here. That's why God has put us together, to help each other through the tough times. When you're in doubt, ask someone to help you. When you're feeling alone, reach out. Have a great day, everyone. I love you all. God bless you all, and I will see you all tomorrow morning, hopefully at 6 o'clock at another location somewhere on this stunning island, so I can bring you Barbados. That is the beauty of Barbados through my eyes. Have a great day, everyone. One love.